So hey anime fans. The series name is What If Naruto Got Harem with Percy Jakson. So let's start the series. I didn't believe in gods. That's the first thing you need to understand. I grew up in Japan, in a small town near the coast where my grandfather raised me after my parents died. He was a fisherman. Not the romantic kind, not the old man and the sea kind. Just a guy who got up at 4 in the morning and came back with cold hands and not enough money. So when I tell you I didn't believe in gods, I mean it like I didn't believe in winning the lottery. Some things just don't happen to people like us. Then Naruto Uzumaki showed up. I remember the exact moment. It was October, late afternoon, and I was walking home from the convenience store with a bag of rice and some instant ramen. The sky was doing that thing where it can't decide if it wants to rain. Gray and heavy but holding back. I took the shortcut through the park. The one with the rusty swings and the slide that's too hot in summer and too cold in winter. And there he was, sitting on a bench, staring at his hands like they'd just done something he didn't ask them to. Blonde hair. Really blonde. Not dirty blonde or light brown but bright yellow, like someone had colored him with a crayon. And wearing orange. Everything orange. A jacket, pants, even the shoes. Orange like traffic cones. Orange like you're begging to be seen. I almost kept walking. Strangers in this town, you mind your business. That's the rule. But then he looked up. And his eyes, I don't know how to explain this without sounding crazy, his eyes were tired in a way that didn't match his age. He looked maybe 16, 17. But his eyes looked like my grandfather's after a bad season at sea. Like someone who'd lost things. Important things. You got the time? He asked. His voice was rough. Like he hadn't talked in a while. I checked my phone. Almost 5. He nodded. Didn't move. Just sat there with his hands on his knees, looking at nothing. I should have left. I had rice and ramen and a small apartment with a leaky faucet and a futon that smelled like dust. I had my own life, my own problems. Instead, I sat down on the other end of the bench. You waiting for someone? I asked. He thought about it. Actually thought, like the question was complicated. I don't know. That's not really an answer. It's the only one I got. We sat there for a while. The wind picked up, and I smelled something strange. Not bad, just different. Like rain hitting hot pavement, but also like something else. Salt, maybe? Or metal? Or both. You're not from here, I said. How can you tell? The hair. The clothes. The fact that you're sitting in an empty park staring at your hands. He laughed at that. A short laugh, almost surprised out of him. Yeah. I'm not from here. Where are you from? He opened his mouth, then closed it. Looked down at his hands again. Somewhere far. I waited. I don't think I can go back, he said. Quiet. Like he was telling himself, not me. That sucks. He looked at me. Really looked for the first time. Yeah. It does. I'm not good with people. I never have been. School was hard because I didn't know what to say or when to say it. My grandfather used to tell me I was like a rock, solid but quiet. Not easy to move, not easy to read. But something about this guy made me want to try. You need a place to stay tonight? He blinked. What? I got a futon. It's not great, but it's warm. And I have ramen. He stared at me for a long time. Long enough that I started to feel stupid for offering. Like maybe he was dangerous, maybe this was a bad idea. Maybe I should just stand up and walk away and pretend this never happened. Then his face did something. Not crying, he wasn't crying. But his jaw tightened and his eyes got bright and he looked away quick, like he didn't want me to see. Why? He asked. Voice rougher now. I shrugged. You look like you haven't eaten in a while. That's not. He stopped. Took a breath. That's not a reason. It's the only one I got. He sat there for a minute. Then he stood up. Okay, he said. Okay. His name was Naruto. He told me that on the walk to my apartment. Just his first name. When I asked for his last name, he got quiet again and said it didn't matter. I didn't push. Like I said, I'm not good with people, but I know when someone's holding something heavy. My apartment was small. One room with a kitchen counter separating the living area from the cooking area, a bathroom so tiny you could wash your hands while sitting on the toilet, and a balcony just big enough for a drying rack and 2 potted plants that I kept forgetting to water. Naruto stood in the doorway for a second, looking around. "It's not much," I said. "It's fine," he said. But his voice was strange. Soft. I pointed at the bathroom. "Shower's in there. Hot water takes a minute to kick in. Don't use all of it or you'll be cold at the end." He nodded. I pointed at the futon folded in the corner. "That's yours tonight. I'll take the floor." "You don't have to." "I'm offering." He looked at me. That same look from the park, like he was trying to figure out if I was real. "Thanks," he said. Just that. But the way he said it, I knew he meant more. I made ramen. Instant, obviously. The cheap kind in the styrofoam cup. I added an egg to each because my grandfather always said an egg makes anything a meal. Naruto watched me boil water like it was the most interesting thing he'd ever seen. "You don't have a kettle?" he asked. "It broke. I boil water in a pot." "Oh." We ate sitting on the floor because my table was too small for 2 people. Well, I ate. Naruto inhaled. 3 bites and his cup was empty. "Sorry," he said, looking at the cup like it had betrayed him. I was. "It's fine." I stood up and got my cup. I'd only had 2 bites. "Here. Finish mine." "No. No way. That's yours." "I'm not that hungry." "I can't take your food." "You're not taking it. I'm giving it." He stared at the cup. Then at me. Then back at the cup. "If you cry over ramen," I said, "I'm kicking you out." He laughed. A real laugh this time, loud and surprised. "I'm not gonna cry." "Good. Eat." He ate. Slower this time, like he was trying to make it last. I sat back against the wall and watched the steam rise from the pot on the stove. "Why'd you help me?" he asked after a while. "I told you. You looked hungry." "That's not..." He put the cup down. "People don't just do this. Not for strangers. Not without wanting something. Maybe where you're from." He went quiet at that. I thought I'd said something wrong, but when I looked at him, his face was just sad. Not angry. Just sad. "Yeah," he said. "Maybe where I'm from." Later, after we'd cleaned up and he'd showered and I was lying on the floor with a blanket that was too thin, I heard him shift on the futon. "Hey," he said. Quiet. Like he wasn't sure he wanted me to hear. "Yeah? Can I ask you something?" "Sure." A pause. Long enough that I thought maybe he'd fallen asleep. "What do you do," he said, "when you can't go back? When everything you knew is just gone?" I stared at the ceiling. There was a crack in it, right above my head. I'd been staring at it for months, telling myself I'd fix it when I had money, when I had time, when I cared enough. "I don't know," I said. "I've never been anywhere to go back to." "That's not true. Everyone has somewhere." I stopped. Tried to find the words. "I grew up here. In this town. My whole life. So if I left, I guess I'd miss it. But I've never left. So I don't know what it feels like to have it taken away." Naruto was quiet. "But my grandfather," I said. "He left. Came here from somewhere else. Never talked about it. Never went back. When I asked him once if he missed it, he said..." I had to think. It had been years. He said missing things doesn't bring them back. So you learn to miss them quiet. The wind picked up outside. The window rattled a little. "Your grandfather sounds smart," Naruto said. "He was just old. Same thing, I guess." Another long pause. "I had people," Naruto said. Voice different now. Smaller. "Back home. People who..." He stopped. Took a breath. "I don't know if they're okay. I don't know if I'll ever see them again." I didn't know what to say. I'm never good at this part. So I just said the only thing I could think of. "That sucks." He laughed. Quiet, but real. "Yeah," he said. "It does." I woke up in the middle of the night. At first I didn't know why. Then I felt it, cold. Really cold, like someone had opened a window in January. But it was October and the windows were closed. I sat up. Naruto was sitting on the futon, legs crossed, eyes closed. And around him, I don't know how to describe this, the air was wrong. Not dark, not light, just thick. Heavy. Like being underwater but not wet. And he was glowing. Just a little. A faint orange light, like embers in a fire. Coming from his skin. Coming from the marks on his cheeks. I hadn't noticed them before, 3 lines on each side, like whiskers. They were darker now. Almost black against his skin. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. Then his eyes opened. And they weren't human. They were red. Bright red, like fresh blood, with slits for pupils. Animal eyes. Predator eyes. And when they looked at me, I felt something I'd never felt before. Like every part of me was being weighed. Measured. Judged. "Who are you?" I whispered. He blinked. The red faded. The orange light faded. The air went back to normal. And Naruto, just Naruto again, tired and confused and sitting on my futon in his orange clothes, stared at me with wide eyes. "I'm sorry," he said. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I can't always control it, What was that?" He looked away. His hands were shaking. I could see them shaking in the dark. "That's why I can't go back," he said. "That thing inside me. It's why they sent me away. It's why everyone." He stopped. Pressed his palms against his eyes. "I'm sorry. I should go. I shouldn't have come here. I'm putting you in danger." He stood up. Started for the door. I should have let him go. That's what anyone smart would have done. What anyone with self-preservation would have done. But I thought about his eyes in the park. Tired eyes. Lost eyes. Eyes like my grandfather's after a bad season. "Sit down," I said. He stopped. Turned. "What?" I said, "Sit down. You're not going anywhere. I checked my phone. 3 in the morning? You'll freeze." "But did you not see?" "I saw something." I sat back down on my blanket. "I don't know what it was. But I know you didn't try to hurt me. So sit down and tell me. Or don't tell me. But don't walk out into the cold because you're scared of something you can't control." He stood there for a long time. The window rattled. The faucet dripped in the kitchen. Then he sat down. He told me things. Not everything. I could tell he was holding back, choosing words carefully. But enough. He told me there was a creature inside him. A fox. A demon, some people called it. It had been put there when he was a baby, and ever since, people had been afraid of him. Hated him, even. Because of something he didn't ask for, didn't choose, couldn't control. He told me he'd found people anyway. People who didn't care about the fox. Who saw him, just him. A teacher. A friend. A girl with pink hair who punched him when he was being stupid. He told me about a village. A place he loved. A place that had finally become home. And then he told me about the fight. The last one. The one where something went wrong. He didn't explain what, and I didn't ask, and he'd ended up here. In this world. This town. This park. "I don't know if I can get back," he said. "I don't know if they're looking for me. I don't know anything." His voice broke on the last word. Just a little. Just enough. I sat there, not saying anything. Because what do you say? What words fix that? After a while I stood up. Went to the kitchen. Got the last cup of ramen from the cabinet. "What are you doing?" he asked. "Making food. It's 3 in the morning." "I know." I boiled water. Poured it in the cup. Waited 3 minutes. Then I handed it to him. He looked at it. Then at me. "Why do you keep feeding me?" "Because you keep looking hungry." "That's not..." He stopped. Shook his head. But he took the cup. We sat there in the dark, him eating ramen, me watching the crack in the ceiling. "You know," he said after a while, "you never told me your name." I thought about it. About whether I wanted to give it. Whether it mattered. "Kaito," I said. He nodded. "Kaito." Like he was testing it. "I'm Naruto." "I know. You told me." "Yeah. But now you know the rest. So it's different." I didn't ask what he meant. But I think I understood. He fell asleep on the futon. I stayed awake, watching the ceiling, thinking about red eyes and orange light and a boy who carried a monster inside him and still looked more scared of me than I was of him. The rain started around 4. Soft at first, then harder. Beating against the window, drumming on the balcony. I thought about my grandfather. About what he said after my parents died, when I was 7 and couldn't sleep and kept asking if they were coming back. "They're not," he'd said. "Not mean, just honest. But you will. Every morning you'll wake up. And eventually that's enough." I looked at Naruto. Asleep now, face soft, whisker marks faded to pale lines on his cheeks. I didn't know if he'd wake up and find his way home. I didn't know if the thing inside him would ever let him rest. But for now, he was here. On my floor. Eating my ramen. Breathing in and out like anyone else. And that was enough. The next morning, I woke up to an empty apartment. For a second, I just lay there on the floor, staring at the futon. Folded neatly. Pillow on top. Like no one had ever slept there. Then I heard the shower running. I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. Sat up. My neck hurt from sleeping on the floor, and my shoulder was doing that thing where it feels like someone stabbed it overnight. Old injury from helping my grandfather with the nets. Never quite healed right. The shower stopped. A few minutes later, Naruto came out with wet hair and my towel around his neck. "Morning," he said. "You used all the hot water?" "Yeah." He grinned. It was different from last night's smiles. Brighter. Like for a second, he forgot everything heavy. "Sorry." I waved it off. Stood up slow, letting my joints adjust. He was already dressed in his orange clothes. I don't know how they weren't wrinkled. Maybe they just didn't wrinkle. Maybe orange was immune to normal fabric rules. "I was thinking," he said. "Dangerous." He laughed. Actually laughed, like I'd said something funny instead of just being an asshole. "Yeah, I get that a lot. But seriously, I need to figure out where I am. And how to get back. You know this town, right?" "I know the convenience store and the docks. That's about it." "Good enough. We start at the docks." "We?" He blinked. "You don't have to come. I just thought." He rubbed the back of his neck. "I don't know anyone here. And you were nice to me. So I thought maybe you'd want to help. But you don't have to. I get it." I looked at him. At the way he stood there, trying to act like it didn't matter, trying to act like he wouldn't be alone again if I said no. "I have nothing else to do," I said. His face lit up. Actually lit up, like someone turned on a light behind his eyes. "Really? Don't make me regret it." The docks were 20 minutes walking. Naruto talked the whole way. About his village. About ramen. He really liked ramen, like really liked it, had opinions about broth and noodles that I didn't know existed. About his friends. About a guy named Sasuke who he called a bastard but in a way that sounded like family. I mostly listened. Nodded. Made sounds that meant I was paying attention. The morning was cold but not raining. Gray sky, gray water, gray buildings. Everything gray except Naruto in his orange jacket, bouncing along like he'd never seen a sidewalk before. "There's water everywhere here," he said, looking at the harbor. "It's a town. On the coast. That's how it works." "No, I mean..." He stopped. Looked out at the waves. "I can feel it. Like it's alive or something. Does water feel alive here?" I stared at him. "Water feels wet." He shook his head. "Never mind." We walked along the pier. Fishing boats tied up, rocking gently. Seagulls fighting over something dead near the water's edge. A guy in yellow rain gear hosing down his deck. Naruto stopped walking. I stopped too. "What?" He was staring at something. Not the boats. Not the water. Something on the pier, about 50 meters ahead. I followed his eyes. A girl. She was sitting on the edge of the pier, legs hanging over the water. Dark hair, long, pulled back. Black clothes. Facing the sea like she was waiting for something. "What?" I asked again. "She's not from here," Naruto said. "How can you tell?" "I don't know. I just..." He squinted. "There's something about her." We stood there for a minute. The girl didn't move. Just sat, looking at the water. Then she turned. Even from this far I could see her eyes. Dark. Tired. Watching us like she'd known we were there the whole time. Naruto started walking toward her. I grabbed his arm. What are you doing? She might know something. About where I am. About how to get back. She might be crazy. She might be dangerous. She's a girl sitting alone on a pier. In October. In the cold. He looked at me. Sounds like someone who needs help. I let go. We walked over. Slow, so we didn't scare her. But she didn't look scared. She looked at us like we were the ones who should be worried. Up close, I noticed things. Her clothes were good quality but worn, like she'd been wearing them for days. Her hands were still, resting on her knees. And her eyes, up close, they weren't just dark. They were almost black. Like deep water. Hey, Naruto said. Soft. Friendly. I'm Naruto. This is Kaido. She looked at him. Then at me. Then back at him. I know, she said. Her voice was quiet. Not shy, just quiet. Like she didn't see the point in being loud. Naruto tilted his head. Know what? That you're not from here. She looked at the water. Neither am I. The wind picked up. Cold off the sea. I shivered. Naruto crouched down next to her. Not too close. Just close enough to talk without yelling. Where are you from? He asked. She was quiet for a long time. Long enough that I thought maybe she wouldn't answer. A camp, she finally said. In New York. Half-Blood Hill. I had no idea what that meant. But Naruto's face changed. Something flickered in his eyes. Half-blood, he repeated. Like my father is a god. She said it flat. Like it didn't matter. Like it mattered too much. Poseidon. God of the sea. I waited for her to laugh. To say just kidding. To do something that made this make sense. She didn't. Naruto sat down next to her. Cross-legged on the cold pier like it was nothing. My dad was the fourth Hokage, he said. Leader of my village. But there's a fox inside me. A demon. So I guess we're both. He gestured vaguely. Not normal. She looked at him. Really looked. Like she was seeing something she hadn't expected. The fox, she said. Is that why you glow? At night? When you're asleep? Naruto tensed. How did you? I felt it. She touched her chest. The water told me. Something old. Something angry. But also, she frowned. Also lonely. Very lonely. I stood there like an idiot, listening to them talk about gods and demons like it was normal conversation. I'm Percy, the girl said. Naruto. He pointed at me. Kaito. She looked at me. You're from here. It wasn't a question. Yeah. You saw him glow. And you stayed. I didn't know how she knew that. But something in her eyes said she just did. Like she could see things other people couldn't. Yeah, I said again. She nodded. Turned back to the water. There's a storm coming, she said. Not a normal one. Something else. I've been sitting here for 2 days trying to understand it. Naruto leaned forward. A storm? Like someone's trying to break through. From somewhere else. The sea feels wrong. Angry. She looked at him. I think it's connected to you. Naruto went quiet. I didn't like where this was going. Percy stood up. Brushed off her pants. She was shorter than I expected, but she moved like someone who knew how to fight. Balanced. Ready. I've been here 3 weeks, she said. I don't know how I got here. 1 minute I was fighting. She stopped. Looked away. 1 minute I was somewhere else. The next I was on a beach. In this world. Same, Naruto said. Except I was in a park. Percy almost smiled. At least you got a park. I got seaweed and a mouth full of sand. Naruto laughed. It was weird hearing them laugh. Like two people who just realized they weren't alone anymore. We need to find out what's causing the storm, Percy said. If it's a way back, we need to be ready. If it's something else, she shrugged. We need to be ready anyway. Ready for what? I asked. They both looked at me. Fighting, Naruto said. Like it was obvious. I don't fight. Percy studied me. You've never had to. I didn't answer. Because she was right, and we all knew it. We walked back toward town. Percy beside Naruto, me a step behind, listening. They compared worlds. Naruto talked about chakra and jutsu and ninja villages. Percy talked about gods and monsters and a place called Camp Half-Blood. They found things in common, fights they'd been in, people they'd lost, moments when they'd almost died. We have a prophet, Percy said. At camp. She said something once. About a time when worlds would merge. When heroes from different skies would stand together. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Different skies? Different realities. Different. She waved her hand. Different everything. She said when that time came, we'd have to choose. Fight together or fall alone. You think that's now? Percy looked at the sky. It was getting darker. Clouds moving faster than they should. I think something's coming, she said. And I think we're going to have to stop it. Back at my apartment, we sat on the floor with cups of tea I didn't really want to make but made anyway. Naruto drank his fast, burned his tongue, didn't care. Percy held hers like she was warming her hands. So what do we do? Naruto asked. Percy was quiet for a minute. Then she pulled something from her pocket. A pen. Normal, black, cheap-looking pen. She uncapped it. And it grew. Not slowly. Not like a trick. It just expanded. Lengthened. Turned into a sword. Bronze blade, dark handle, maybe a meter long. I stared. Naruto leaned forward, eyes wide. That's so cool. It's riptide, Percy said. Celestial bronze. Works on monsters. Doesn't hurt mortals. She looked at me. You're mortal. Probably. You wouldn't be able to use it. I don't want to use it. Good. She capped it. It turned back into a pen. Naruto, you have weapons? He held up his hands. These are weapons. Percy nodded like that made sense. I felt like I was drowning. Okay, I said. They both looked at me. Okay, let's say I believe all this. Gods and demons and swords that grow from pens. What does that have to do with me? I'm just a guy who lives in a small apartment and buys rice at the convenience store. Percy looked at me with those dark eyes. You helped him. Without knowing anything. Without wanting anything. He looked hungry. That's exactly why you're part of this now. She put the pen away. The mortal ones always matter most. The ones who help anyway. I didn't know what to say to that. Naruto grinned at me. See? You're a hero. I'm really not. You will be. He said it like it was fact. Like he knew something I didn't. The windows rattled. Percy stood up fast. Moved to the window. Looked out. It's here, she said. We went outside. The sky had gone dark. Not evening dark, storm dark. Clouds low and thick, moving wrong, swirling like water going down a drain. The wind was cold and wet, carrying salt spray from the sea even though we were blocks from the water. People were rushing inside. Closing shops. Pulling down shutters. No one looked up. No one seemed to notice how strange the sky was. They can't see it, Percy said. Mortals. They see a storm. Just a storm. Naruto looked at the clouds. What do you see? Something else. The wind picked up. Hard. I had to brace myself against it. And then, in the middle of the street, the air ripped open. I don't know how else to describe it. 1 second there was nothing. The next there was a tear. Like someone cutting fabric, but the fabric was reality. Light came through, not sunlight, something else. Green and gold and wrong. And something stepped out. It was tall. Too tall. Human-shaped but not human. Its skin was gray, like old stone, and its eyes were black pits with pinpricks of red light deep inside. It wore armor that looked like it had been grown, not made. And in its hand, it carried a sword that dripped with dark liquid. That's not from my world, Naruto said. Mine either, Percy said. She already had riptide out, already a sword in her hand. But it's not friendly. The thing looked at us. At Naruto. At Percy. At me. Its mouth opened. Too wide. Too many teeth. Two anomalies, it said. Voice like rocks grinding together. Two trespassers in this broken world. The master will be pleased. It raised its sword. Naruto moved. I didn't even see him do it. 1 second he was beside me. The next he was in front of the thing, a ball of blue energy in his hand, slamming it into the creature's chest. The thing stumbled. Not down, just back. Black liquid sprayed from the wound. Naruto landed, spun, through something else, shuriken, I think, but made of light. They hit the creature's armor and sparked. Percy was moving too. Faster than should be possible. Her sword sliced through the air, cut into the creature's side. Bronze against gray flesh. It screamed. I stood there. Frozen. Useless. The creature swung its sword. Naruto dodged. Percy stabbed. They moved like they'd been fighting together for years, not minutes. But the thing was strong. Too strong. It caught Percy's sword with its hand, squeezed, and I heard something crack in her wrist. She gasped. Stumbled back. Naruto hit it again. And again. Rasengan, he called it later. Each time it hurt the creature, each time it screamed, but it kept coming. Then it looked at me. Its red pit eyes locked onto mine. The mortal, it said. Weak. Breakable. It moved toward me. I couldn't move. Couldn't run. My legs weren't working. My brain wasn't working. All I could see were those eyes, that sword, those teeth. Naruto stepped in front of me. Back off, he said. His voice was different. Deeper. Rougher. Around him, the air started to change. That thickness from last night. That wrongness. His eyes flickered red. Get behind me, Kaido. I stumbled back. Fell on the wet pavement. Crawled. The creature paused. Looked at Naruto. Something like recognition in its empty face. The beast, it said. The nine-tailed one. The master spoke of you. Naruto didn't answer. He was changing. Not his body, something else. The air around him was hot now, pressing, heavy. Orange light bled from his skin. Let them go, he said. Voice layered. Like two people talking at once. This is between us. The creature laughed. A horrible sound. The master wants all of you. The girl of water. The beast of fire. And the mortal who ties them together. It looked at me again. Especially him. Naruto moved. Faster than before. Much faster. He hit the creature with something that wasn't a Rasengan, something bigger, brighter, louder. The street cracked under them. Windows shattered. Percy was beside me, pulling me up, dragging me away. Her wrist hung wrong, but she ignored it. We need to go, she said. Naruto. He's buying us time. Don't waste it. She pulled me down an alley. Behind us, I heard fighting. Screaming. The crack of stone and the roar of something that didn't sound human. Then silence. We stopped at the end of the alley. Looked back. Naruto was standing in the middle of the street. Alone. The creature was gone. Just a smear of black liquid on the pavement, and the smell of something burned. He turned. Looked at us. His eyes were blue again. Normal. Human. But his face was pale, and he was breathing hard, and when he walked toward us, he almost fell. Percy caught him. You're an idiot, she said, but her voice was soft. He grinned weak. Yeah, I know. Back in my apartment. The three of us on the floor. Percy's wrist wrapped in a towel with ice from my freezer. Naruto slumped against the wall, eyes half closed. No one spoke for a long time. Then Naruto looked at me. You okay? I stared at him. At the kid who just fought a monster from another world. Who had a demon inside him. Who was asking if I was okay. No, I said. He nodded. Like that made sense. Percy shifted, winced at her wrist. That thing. It said the master. And it knew about both of us. About Naruto's fox. About. She looked at me. About you. What about me? It said the mortal who ties them together. She frowned. That's you? Somehow you're part of this. I didn't want to be part of anything. I wanted to go back to yesterday, when my biggest problem was a leaky faucet and instant ramen for dinner. But I looked at Naruto, exhausted against my wall. At Percy, holding her broken wrist like it was nothing. And I knew I couldn't. So what do we do? I asked. Percy and Naruto looked at each other. We fight, Naruto said. We prepare, Percy said. And we find out who's behind this, Naruto added. Percy nodded. Before they find us again. The wind howled outside. The storm was still there. Waiting. I looked at my hands. Normal hands. Hands that had never held a weapon, never thrown a punch, never done anything but help my grandfather with fishing nets and carry rice from the convenience store. I don't know how to fight, I said. Naruto smiled. Tired but real. We'll teach you. Percy looked at me with those dark eyes. If you're willing to learn. The faucet dripped. The window rattled. The storm pressed against the glass. And I sat there, on the floor of my tiny apartment, with two people from other worlds who just saved my life, and I thought about my grandfather. About what he'd said after my parents died. About waking up every morning and that being enough. This wasn't enough anymore. Yeah, I said. I'm willing. 3 days passed. That's what I kept telling myself. 3 days since the creature in the street. 3 days since my life stopped making sense. 3 days of Naruto sleeping on my futon and Percy sitting on my floor, and the three of us trying to figure out what came next. The storm never stopped. Not completely. It would ease up sometimes, go from pouring rain to just gray sky and heavy clouds. But it never cleared. The sun didn't come out. The wind kept carrying that wrong smell, salt and metal and something else, something that made my teeth hurt. Percy said it was getting worse. She could feel it in the water. In the pipes, in the harbor, in the puddles on the street. Something was building. Naruto trained every day. In the morning, before I woke up, he'd be outside doing exercises I didn't understand. Push-ups on his fingers. Handstands against the wall. Moving so fast I couldn't follow. When I asked him why, he just shrugged. Got to be ready, he said. For next time. Percy's wrist healed fast. Faster than should be possible. She said it was because she was a demigod, something about being able to heal in water. She'd held it under the faucet for an hour the night after the fight, and by morning the swelling was gone. I didn't have any powers. I couldn't heal fast or move fast or feel things in the water. I was just me. But I watched. I listened. And on the third day, I asked them to teach me for real. We went to the docks. Percy's idea. She said she fought better near water, and Naruto said he didn't care where we were as long as there was space. The docks at dawn were empty, just boats and seagulls in the gray sea. Naruto stood in front of me. First thing, he said. You gotta learn how to stand. I know how to stand. No. You know how to stand like a normal person. That's different from standing like someone who might get hit. He showed me. Feet apart. Knees bent. Weight low. Hands up, not too high, not too low. He moved around me, adjusting my shoulders, my elbows, my stance. Tense, he said. You're too tense. I'm about to get hit. Of course I'm tense. He laughed. Fair. But tense means slow. You gotta be loose. Ready to move, but not tight. I tried to relax. Didn't work. Percy watched from the pier, sitting cross-legged, riptide in her lap. She wasn't training. She was feeling something, the water, the storm, I didn't know. Her eyes were half closed, her face still. Okay, Naruto said. Now I'm gonna throw a punch. I'm not gonna hit you. I just want you to block. Block how? He showed me. Forearm up, angled so the force slides off. Don't meet it straight on. Move with it. He threw the punch. Slow. Really slow. I could see it coming from a mile away. I brought my arm up like he showed me. His fist stopped an inch from my face. Good, he said. Again. We did that for an hour. Him throwing slow punches. Me blocking. Him correcting my form. Me trying to remember everything. After a while my arms ached. My legs ached. Everything ached. Take a break, Naruto said. I sat down on the pier, breathing hard. He sat next to me, not even winded. How do you do that? I asked. Do what? Not get tired. He was quiet for a second. I've been doing this my whole life. Since I was way younger than you. It's just. He shrugged. It's what I am. Percy opened her eyes. Looked at us. He's right, she said. We've been fighting since we were kids. You can't catch up in 3 days. Then why am I training? Because 3 days from now, you'll be better than you are today. And 3 days after that, better still. She stood up, walked over. But you also need to know what you're good at. What you bring. I bring nothing. I'm just a guy. Percy shook her head. That thing in the street. It said the mortal who ties them together. That's you? You're the connection. I don't know what that means. Neither do we. But it means something. That afternoon, Naruto asked about my grandfather. We were back at the apartment, eating rice with leftover vegetables. Percy was in the bathroom, running water over her hands. She did that a lot, like it helped her think. He was a fisherman, I said. I told you. Yeah, but what was he like? I thought about it. No one had ever asked me that before. Not like that. He was quiet, I said. Not in a mean way. Just quiet. He didn't talk much. But when he did, it mattered. Naruto nodded. Kept eating. When my parents died, he didn't try to explain it. Didn't try to make it better. He just... I stopped. The words were hard. He just stayed. Every day. He was just there. That's something, Naruto said. Yeah. It was. Percy came out of the bathroom, drying her hands on her pants. She sat down across from us. My dad's not around, she said. Quiet. He's a god, so that's how it works. They're not really there. But my mom. She looked away. I don't know if she's okay. I don't know if I'll see her again. The room got quiet. Naruto put his bowl down. My parents died the day I was born, he said. My dad sacrificed himself to save the village. To save me. From the fox. He touched his stomach. I never knew them. Not really. But I had people. An old man who believed in me. A teacher who never gave up. Friends who... His voice cracked. Just a little. I don't know if they're looking for me. I don't know if they think I'm dead. We sat there. 3 people from 3 different worlds. All missing something. All carrying something. I thought about my grandfather again. About what he said when I asked him once why he never went back to his hometown. Nothing to go back to, he'd said. Everything I loved is either here or gone. I didn't understand it then. I think I was starting to now. That night I couldn't sleep. I lay on the floor. I'd given Naruto the futon again, and Percy had taken the chair, and stared at the crack in the ceiling. The storm rattled the windows. The faucet dripped. Naruto's voice came out of the dark. Kaito. Yeah? You ever feel like you're carrying something so heavy you don't know how you're still standing? I thought about it. About my parents. About my grandfather. About the years after they died, when I was alone in this apartment, going to school, coming home, making ramen, sleeping, repeating. Yeah, I said. I think everyone does. Even normal people? Especially normal people. He was quiet for a long time. In my world, he said, everyone knew about the fox. They hated me for it. Before they even met me. Before I could do anything. They just decided I was a monster. I didn't say anything. But I found people who didn't see it that way. Who saw me. His voice got smaller. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to forget them. You won't. How do you know? I thought about my grandfather. About the way he talked about my parents sometimes, late at night when he thought I was asleep. About the sound in his voice. Not sad exactly. Just present. Like they were still there, in some way. Because forgetting isn't the problem, I said. Remembering is. And you remember. Morning came gray again. Percy was already awake, standing at the window, looking out at the storm. It's closer, she said. Naruto sat up. The thing? The creature? Whatever's behind it. I can feel it in the water. Like pressure. Like something big is about to break through. I got up. My body hurt from training, from sleeping on the floor, from everything. How long? I asked. Percy shook her head. Hours. Maybe a day. Not longer. Naruto stood. Rolled his shoulders. Then we get ready. Ready how? I asked. I still can't fight. You can run, Percy said. You can hide. You can. She stopped. Looked at me. You can survive. That's enough for now. It didn't feel like enough. We went back to the docks. I don't know why. Percy just said we needed to be near the water. That when it happened, When whatever was coming arrived, the sea would be part of it. Naruto trained me again. More blocks. More stances. How to fall without hurting myself. How to roll and get back up. You're getting better, he said. I'm getting less terrible. That's the same thing. Around noon, Percy stopped him. Someone's coming, she said. We looked where she was looking. Down the pier, walking toward us, was a man. Old. Maybe 70. Gray hair, gray beard, weathered face. He wore old fishing clothes, yellow rain jacket, rubber boots, gloves with the fingers cut out. He carried a bucket and a fishing pole. I knew him. Mr. Tanaka, I said. Naruto looked at me. You know him? He used to fish with my grandfather. Before my grandfather got sick. Mr. Tanaka walked up slow, like his joints hurt. Stopped a few meters away. Looked at Naruto. At Percy. At me. Kaido, he said. Voice rough from years of salt air. Your grandfather would want me to give you something. I blinked. What? He reached into his bucket. Pulled out something wrapped in oilcloth. Held it out. I took it. Unwrapped it. A knife. Not a big one. Not a weapon, really, more like a tool. Wooden handle, worn smooth from years of use. Blade curved, sharp, stained dark near the hilt. Fishing knife. The kind you use to clean the day's catch. This was his, Mr. Tanaka said. He carried it every day. When he got sick, he gave it to me. Told me to hold on to it until you were ready. I don't understand. Mr. Tanaka looked at me with old eyes. Eyes that had seen things. Lost things. He said you'd know when the time came. That you'd need something to hold on to. Something real. He glanced at Naruto and Percy. I think the time is now. He turned and walked away. Didn't look back. I stood there, holding my grandfather's knife, feeling the weight of it. The smoothness of the handle where his hands had held it for years. Percy stepped closer. Looked at the knife. That's not just a tool, she said. What do you mean? She touched the blade. Gently. There's something in it. Old. Quiet. Like. She frowned. Like someone put part of themselves into this. A long time ago. I thought about my grandfather. About the way he'd hold this knife, day after day, year after year. About the things he'd seen, the things he'd lost, the things he never talked about. He came from somewhere else, I said. My grandfather. He never told me where. Naruto looked at the knife. Then at me. Maybe it's time to find out. We went back to my apartment. I sat on the floor with the knife in my hands. Naruto and Percy watched, waiting. I turned it over. Looked at the blade, the handle, the dark stains near the hilt. Old blood. Fish blood, probably. But maybe not. On the bottom of the handle, almost worn away, there was a symbol. Percy leaned in. Can I see? I handed it to her. She traced the symbol with her finger. Her face changed. I've seen this before, she said. Where? In camp. In old books. It's. She looked up. It's Greek. Ancient Greek. It means boundary. Or threshold. Something like that. I stared at her. My grandfather was Greek? I don't know. But this symbol, it's old. Older than most things. It's the kind of thing demigods used, way back. To mark boundaries. To protect places. Naruto frowned. Protect from what? Percy shook her head. I don't know. But if your grandfather had this, and if he came from somewhere else. She looked at me. He might have been more than just a fisherman. I didn't want to hear that. Didn't want to think about it. My grandfather was my grandfather. The man who raised me. The man who taught me to fish and cook rice and fix a leaky faucet. He wasn't part of this. He couldn't be. But I looked at the knife. At the symbol. At the worn handle where his hands had been. And I wondered. The storm got worse that night. Wind howled. Rain slammed against the windows. The power flickered twice, then went out for good. We sat in the dark, candles burning low, listening to the world try to tear itself apart. Percy stood by the window, watching. It's almost here, she said. Naruto stood too. Rolled his shoulders. Cracked his neck. Then we go. I stood last. The knife was in my pocket. Heavy. Warm, almost like it had its own heat. Kaito. Percy's voice was soft. You don't have to come. Yes, I do. Why? I thought about it. About my grandfather. About the symbol on his knife. About the life he lived and the things he never told me. Because if I don't, I said, I'll spend the rest of my life wondering. And I'm tired of wondering. She nodded. Like that made sense. Naruto grinned at me. Same grin from before. Bright and stupid and somehow exactly what I needed. Let's go, he said. The docks were destroyed. Not completely, but close. Boats smashed against each other. Pier broken in places. Water everywhere, higher than it should be, like the sea had risen just for this. And in the middle of it all, standing on the water like it was solid ground, was a figure. Tall. Too tall. Wearing dark robes that moved wrong, like they were made of shadow. Its face was hidden, but I could feel it looking at us. Could feel its attention like weight on my chest. Behind it, the sky was torn. Literally torn, a rip in reality, same as before, but bigger. Much bigger. Green and gold light poured through. Naruto stepped forward. Who are you? He shouted. The figure didn't move. But its voice came anyway. In our heads. Cold and smooth and terrible. I am the one who watches the boundaries. The one who guards the spaces between worlds. You may call me the Keeper. Percy had riptide out. Naruto had his hands up, glowing with blue light. The Keeper looked at them. Then at me. The boy with the beast. The girl of the sea. And the heir of the threshold. It tilted its head. You carry his knife, child. The old guardian's knife. He served well in his time. My blood went cold. You knew my grandfather. I knew of him. He was one of us once. A guardian of the boundaries. But he grew tired. Chose to leave. To live a mortal life. The Keeper's voice almost sounded sad. He should have known you cannot simply leave. The boundaries do not forget. Percy moved. Fast. Sword slicing toward the Keeper. It didn't even look at her. Just raised a hand, and water exploded from the sea, slamming into her, throwing her back onto the pier. Naruto attacked. Rasengan in his hand screaming as he ran. The Keeper caught him. One hand around his throat. Lifted him like he weighed nothing. The beast is strong, it said. But young. Untrained. The fox inside you sleeps still. When it wakes, it tilted its head. Then you will be worthy. It threw him. Naruto hit the pier hard, rolled, didn't get up. I stood there. Alone. Knife in my hand. Shaking. The Keeper looked at me. Your grandfather took something when he left. Something that belonged to the boundaries. A key? Do you know what I speak of? I didn't. But I thought about the knife. About the symbol. About the way Percy said it felt old. This? I held up the knife. The Keeper laughed. A horrible sound. No, child. The knife is merely a tool. The key is something else. Something he hid. Something only his blood can find. It stepped closer. The water didn't move under its feet. You will find it for me. Or your new friends will suffer. And then this world will suffer. And then, it gestured at the tear in the sky. All worlds will suffer. I looked at Naruto, unconscious on the pier. At Percy, struggling to stand, soaked and bleeding. What is the key? I asked. The Keeper smiled. I couldn't see its face, but I felt it. Something your grandfather stole from me. A stone. Small, gray, unremarkable. But it holds power. Power to open any boundary, any threshold, any door between worlds. With it, I can finally go home. Then why don't you just go? Because he hid it well. In a place even I cannot see. A place that requires blood to find. It looked at me. Your blood. I stood there, knife in my hand, storm raging around me, two friends broken at my feet. And I thought about my grandfather. About the life he lived. About the things he never told me. About why he gave Mr. Tanaka the knife. About why he said I'd know when the time came. I think I knew now. I'll find it, I said. But you let them go. You leave this world alone. The Keeper considered. For now, it said. But do not take long, child. I am not patient. It raised its hand. The tear in the sky pulsed. And then it was gone. Just like that. The storm began to ease. The water started to recede. Naruto groaned. Percy coughed, sat up. I stood there, holding my grandfather's knife, and wondered what I'd just agreed to. Later, back in my apartment. Candles burning. Naruto's head wrapped in a bandage. Percy's arm in a sling made from an old shirt. No one spoke for a long time. Then Naruto looked at me. What did it want? I told them. About the key. About my grandfather. About what I'd agreed to. Percy's face was hard. You can't trust it. Whatever it is, whatever it wants, it's not going to just let us go. I know. Then why? Because if I didn't agree, we'd all be dead. I looked at her. You and Naruto are the only ones who can fight this thing. And it almost killed you in 2 seconds. So yeah, I agreed. Because it bought us time. Naruto was quiet. Then he nodded. He's right. We weren't winning that fight. Percy looked away. But she didn't argue. I took the knife out of my pocket. Laid it on the floor between us. My grandfather hid something. A stone. A key to the boundaries between worlds. The keeper wants it. And I'm the only one who can find it. Any idea where to start? Naruto asked. I shook my head. But as I looked at the knife, at the symbol worn into the handle, I remembered something. My grandfather, years ago, taking me to a place outside town. A small shrine in the woods. Not a real shrine, just a little stone structure, old and forgotten. He'd go there sometimes, alone. Wouldn't tell me why. I picked up the knife. Yeah, I said. Maybe. We left at dawn. The storm had pulled back during the night, but the sky was still wrong. Gray in a way that felt permanent. Like the sun had forgotten how to come out. Naruto's head still hurt. He kept touching the bandage and wincing, but he said he was fine. Percy's arm was better. She'd held it in the sink for an hour before we slept, and the swelling was down. She said another day and it would be healed. I didn't have injuries. Just exhaustion. And fear. And 1,000 questions I couldn't answer. The shrine was in the hills east of town. Maybe an hour's walk. I hadn't been there since I was a kid, since my grandfather stopped taking me. I wasn't even sure I could find it again. But I had to try. We walked through empty streets. The storm had kept everyone inside, and even now, with the rain stopped, no one was out. Shutters closed. Doors locked. The whole town felt abandoned. Naruto kept looking around like he expected something to jump out. You think that keeper thing is watching us? He asked. Percy shook her head. I don't feel anything. Not in the water anyway. I think it's waiting. For what? For us to find the key. She looked at me. That's the deal, right? We find it, it comes back. I nodded. Didn't say anything. Naruto kicked a rock. I don't like waiting. Neither do I, Percy said. But we don't have a choice. We reached the edge of town. The road turned to dirt, then to nothing, just a path through weeds and low bushes. Hills ahead, covered in trees. The kind of place you don't go unless you have a reason. It's up there, I said. Somewhere. How somewhere? Naruto asked. I was a kid. I don't remember exactly. He looked at the hills. At the trees. At the gray sky. Great, he said. But he started walking. The path was overgrown. I hadn't expected anything else. 10 years since I'd been here. Maybe more. The weeds were waist-high in places, and the ground was soft from the storm. Our feet sank with every step. Percy moved like it didn't bother her. Balanced. Quiet. Naruto crashed through like a tank, not caring about branches or mud or anything. I followed between them, watching for landmarks. A rock I remembered. A tree split by lightning. A stream we had to cross. The stream was still there. Wider now, faster from the rain. We had to jump. Naruto made it easy. Percy landed like a cat. I slipped on the far bank, fell in the mud, got up muddy and wet and embarrassed. Either of them laughed. That almost made it worse. You okay? Percy asked. Yeah. Fine. She looked at me for a second too long, then nodded and kept walking. We found the shrine around noon. It wasn't much. Just a small stone structure, maybe chest high, built into the side of a hill. Moss covered most of it. Trees grew close around, blocking what little light there was. The air felt different here. Colder. Stiller. Naruto stopped at the edge of the clearing. "This place is weird," he said. Percy nodded. "I feel it too. Like," she touched her chest, "like something's watching. Not hostile. Just aware." I walked forward. Slowly. The knife was in my pocket, and it felt warm again. Warmer than before. The shrine had a small opening in front. Like a door, but too small for a person. More like a place to leave offerings. I remembered my grandfather kneeling here, placing things inside. Small things. Stones, mostly. Sometimes food. I knelt down. Looked inside. Dark. Couldn't see anything. "Need light," I said. Naruto came over. Held out his hand. A small ball of blue light appeared above his palm. Not a Rasengan, just light. He'd shown me he could do that, make light without the spinning. Said it was basic chakra control. I looked inside again. There was a stone at the back. Small. Gray. Unremarkable. My heart stopped. "Is that it?" Percy asked. "I don't know. Maybe." I reached in. My fingers touched the stone. Cold. Smooth. Ordinary. I pulled it out. For a second, nothing happened. Just me, holding a gray rock, kneeling in front of an old shrine. Then the ground shook. Not hard. Just a tremor. But enough to make us all freeze. Naruto looked around. "What was that?" Percy's face had gone pale. "The water. It just..." She closed her eyes. "Something's happening. Far away. But coming closer." I looked at the stone in my hand. Still gray. Still ordinary. But the warmth from the knife had spread to my whole body now. Like I was standing in sunlight, even though the sky was gray. "It's this," I said. "It's doing something." Percy opened her eyes. "The keeper. It knows we found it." Naruto cracked his knuckles. "Then we fight." "We couldn't fight it last time." "This time we're ready." "Were you ready last time?" He didn't answer. We walked back down the hill. Faster than the way up. No one talked. I held the stone in my pocket, next to the knife. They both felt warm now. Connected somehow. Like they recognized each other. Halfway down, Percy stopped. "Wait." We stopped. Listened. Wind through trees. Birds somewhere. Normal forest sounds. Then not normal. A sound like something dragging. Heavy. Slow. Coming from the trees to our left. Naruto moved in front of me. Percy had riptide out. The dragging sound got closer. Then it stepped out of the trees. Not the keeper. Something else. Smaller, but not small. Maybe 7 feet tall. Human-shaped but wrong, too thin, too long, with skin like old bark. Its eyes were green and glowed faintly. Its mouth was just a line. "A dryad?" Percy whispered. "But not from my world. Something like it." The thing looked at us. At me. At the pocket where I held the stone. "You have it," it said. Voice like rustling leaves. "The key." I didn't answer. It called to us. All of us. The old guardians. The boundary walkers. It took a step closer. Naruto tensed. "We thought it was lost forever. When the old one left." It looked at me. "Your grandfather." "You knew him?" "All guardians knew him. He was the best of us. The strongest. When he left, we thought..." It shook its head. "It doesn't matter. The key is found. The boundaries are waking." Percy stepped forward. "The keeper wants it. Some kind of creature from between worlds." The dryad's eyes widened. "The keeper is awake?" "You know about it?" "We know of it. An old enemy. It was trapped, long ago, between worlds. The boundaries were sealed to keep it there." It looked at the stone in my pocket. "That stone is part of the seal. If the keeper gets it, it can break the boundaries." I finished. "Go anywhere. Do anything." The dryad nodded. "Then we destroy it," Naruto said. "The stone. Smash it." "You cannot. It is not truly stone. It is something older. Something that cannot be unmade, only hidden." The dryad looked at me. "Your grandfather knew this. That is why he took it. Why he hid it where even the keeper could not see. Why me? I asked. Why did he leave it for me to find? The dryad was quiet for a long moment. Because you are his blood. Because the boundaries know you. Because when the time came, it tilted its head. He believed you would know what to do. I don't know what to do. That is what he said once. When he was young. When he first became a guardian. The dryad almost smiled. He was wrong then. Perhaps you are wrong now. It turned. Started walking back into the trees. Wait, I said. Where are you going? The keeper comes. We cannot stop it. But we can slow it. The old guardians, what remain of us, will hold the boundaries as long as we can. It looked back. Use the time well, child of the threshold. And then it was gone. Just trees and wind and the sound of leaves. We ran the rest of the way down. Not because we were scared, well, yeah, because we were scared. But also because we didn't have time. The dryad said the keeper was coming. Said they'd slow it, but not stop it. We had to be ready. Back in town, things were worse. People were out now, but they moved wrong. Stumbled. Looked at the sky with empty eyes. Percy said it was the boundaries weakening. Mortals could feel it, even if they didn't understand. We made it to my apartment. Locked the door. Pulled the curtains. Sat on the floor, breathing hard. Naruto was the first to speak. So, we got the stone. The keeper's coming. Old tree people are buying us time. What's the plan? Percy looked at me. The dryad said your grandfather believed you'd know what to do. Any ideas? I held the stone in my hand. Looked at it. Gray. Smooth. Ordinary. Nothing. I don't know, I said. I really don't. Percy leaned back against the wall. Okay. Let's think. The stone is part of a seal, right? That kept the keeper trapped between worlds. Your grandfather took it, hid it, broke the seal. But the keeper didn't escape. Why? Because the boundaries were still there, Naruto said. The seal was just one part. The boundaries themselves, they're like walls. The stone was the door. Percy nodded. So if the keeper gets the stone, it can open any door. Go anywhere. But without the stone, it's still trapped. I looked at the stone. So we keep it from the keeper. Hide it again. Where? Naruto asked. It found it once. It'll find it again. I thought about the shrine. About how hidden it was. About how my grandfather chose that place, specifically, to hide the stone. He didn't just hide it, I said. He bound it to something. To me. That's why it called to me. That's why the dryad said the boundaries know me. Percy leaned forward. What do you mean? The knife. The stone. They're connected. To him. To me. I pulled out the knife, laid it next to the stone. They both glowed faintly. Warm. What if I'm the hiding place now? Naruto blinked. You want to put the stone inside you? No. I mean. I stopped. Tried to find words. The dryad said the stone can't be destroyed. Just hidden. And the best hiding place is something the keeper can't take. Something that's part of the boundaries already. Percy's eyes widened. You're a threshold. Your grandfather's blood. The boundaries know you. If you bonded with the stone somehow, then the keeper can't get it without taking me. And maybe. I looked at the knife. Maybe the knife protects it. Protects me. We sat with that for a minute. Naruto scratched his head. That's crazy. I know. But it might work. I know. Percy was quiet. Then she said, you'd be a target forever. The keeper would never stop looking for you. Even if we beat it here, even if we send it back, it would always know you have the stone. I know. Why would you do that? I thought about my grandfather. About the life he lived. About the things he gave up to raise me. Because he did it for me, I said. The least I can do is carry something for him. We didn't have time to plan more. The sky tore open again. Right outside my window. Green and gold light flooding the street. The keeper stepped through. It looked different now. Bigger. More solid. Like it was pulling itself together from pieces. Behind it, I could see shapes in the tear, other things waiting. Monsters. Creatures. An army. Child of the threshold, it said. Voice in our heads, cold and hungry. I have come for what is mine. Naruto stood. Moved to the window. You're not getting anything. The keeper ignored him. Looked at me. The old guardians try to stop me. They fail. They always fail. Give me the stone, and I will leave this world. Refuse, and I will tear it apart to find it. I stood up. Walked to the window. Naruto tried to stop me, but I moved past him. The knife was in my hand. The stone in my pocket. You want it? I said. Come get it. The keeper laughed. That horrible sound. Brave. Foolish, but brave. It raised its hand. The tear behind it pulsed. Things started to come through, shadows with teeth, creatures with too many legs, things I can't describe. Percy was beside me. Riptide glowing. Naruto on my other side. Hands up. Blue light building. We hold them here, Percy said. You do what you need to do. I don't know how. Figure it out. They moved. Fast. Naruto hit the first creatures with a Rasengan, sent them flying. Percy sliced through shadows, bronze blades singing. The keeper watched. Didn't move. Just watched. I pulled out the stone. Looked at it. What do I do? I whispered. The knife in my hand grew warm. Hot. Almost too hot to hold. I thought about my grandfather. About his hands on this knife. About the life he lived. About the things he never told me. About why he left. About why he stayed. About why he believed in me. I pressed the stone against the knife. They merged. That's the only word for it. The stone sank into the blade like water into sand. The knife glowed, bright, warm, golden. Light poured out of it, filled the room, spilled into the street. The keeper screamed. No! You cannot! It is mine! It belongs to... The light hit it. The creatures. The tear in the sky. Everything stopped. Then everything burned. Not fire. Something else. Purifying. Old. The light of boundaries, of thresholds, of places between. The keeper writhed. Tried to escape. But the light held it, pulled it, dragged it toward the tear. This is not over. It screamed. I will find you, child. Wherever you go, whatever world you hide in, I will find you and I will take what is mine. The tear closed. The light faded. And the keeper was gone. We stood in the street. Me, Naruto, Percy. Surrounded by the remains of creatures, black dust, fading shadows, nothing solid. The knife in my hand was different now. The stone was part of it, a gray mark near the hilt. Still warm. Still connected. Percy lowered her sword. Stared at me. Did you know that would happen? No. Naruto laughed. Weak but real. You're crazy. You know that? Yeah. I looked at the knife. I guess I am. People were coming out of buildings now. Staring at the sky. At us. The storm was gone, really gone, for the first time in days. Sunlight broke through the clouds. Weak but there. Percy sheathed Riptide. Turned it back into a pen. The boundaries are stable again, she said. For now. Can we go home? Naruto asked. Quiet. Hopeful. She shook her head. I don't know. The keeper's gone, but the damage it did, I don't know if the paths are open. Naruto's face fell. Just a little. Then he forced a smile. Well, guess we're stuck here a while longer. I looked at him. At Percy. At the two people from other worlds who would become, what? Friends? Something more? The apartment's small, I said. But you already know that. Percy almost smiled. We'll manage. Naruto threw an arm around my shoulder. Grinned. Roommates! This is gonna be great. It wasn't great. It was terrifying and confusing, and I had no idea what came next. But for the first time in years, I wasn't alone. And that was something.